All right, so in this piece, I'm going to be running us through six advantages of buying already built houses in Nigeria. Six advantages of buying already built houses. Now, houses in this point, I mean to say a duplex in Nigeria. Number one, security, good road network, and electricity has been taken care of. One of the major advantages of buying already built duplexes in Nigeria is that the security, the road network, and electricity has been taken care of. So you don't have to bother how the security of your environment looks like. In short, in most estates, from the gate, you have to put the call across to wherever you want to go and see. You cannot just enter the estate anyhow. It's not possible. In terms of the road network, yes, all the roads, all the adjoining roads are tiled and they have access to affordable, clean energy we can also call electricity. Number two, you will never have anything to do with community guys. Another advantage of buying already built houses in Nigeria is that you never have anything to do with community guys. Oh, that there are some guys who are coming to your site to come and carry your headpan, come and carry your wheelbarrow or what have you. You will never have anything to do with those community guys. And you can also bear me witness how very, very naughty those community guys can actually be. So you never have anything to do with those community guys. Tip number three, you will save yourself the stress of quarreling. Yeah, most times for those persons who have actually built one or two houses, you would bear me witness how that at a point you're either quarreling with your engineer or you're quarreling with your supervisor on site or even your family member. Probably not because they are doing what is wrong on site. Maybe because your body is just peppering you that you are spending money. You know it. As a client, once you start spending money, before you know, you just be angry somehow. You understand what I mean by that? So you save yourself the stress of quarreling with anybody on the site. Tip number four, you will never be worried of the cost of materials. I think this point is very, very salient. Why? Because the cost of materials determines your budget for any project. As such, you will not be worried that, what is the current cost of a bag of cement? What is the current cost of 12 road, 16 road, 8 road? What's the current cost of a wood? You are not worried about all that. Do you know why? Because as we speak, using Edo State, for example, as a case study, you might just buy probably a bag of cement on Friday or Saturday. You might buy for, let's say, 4,003, and it will amaze you to know that on Monday it is now either 4,500 or 4,700. You're like seriously, I got this cement for 4,300 on Saturday, and now Monday it's now 4,500 or 4,700. You will never be worried of the cost of materials. Do you know why? The estate developer has developed this project for you, and you're just coming to say, okay, how much is this house? Okay, I think I like this house. And then if it meets your demands, then you can actually make the payment. Tip number five, you are guaranteed a well-cultured environment. Yes. Another advantage of buying already built houses in Nigeria, in an estate, is that you are guaranteed what? A well-cultured environment. So, for occupants who are your neighbors in the estate, there are rules and regulations that the estate has been able to develop, and it's okay, fine. Every occupant of this estate must please abide by the rules and regulation of this estate. If anyone is faulting it, then it means that the person has to be queried in one way or the other. That's number one. Number two, you can also be assured of For example, there's some people who love playing music a lot. There are limitations to how they can loud their music. You cannot just start hosting parties anyhow in your compound. No, there are places that are created to host commercial events. You understand what I'm saying? There are places that are created to host commercial events. So you want to do a party, you have to go to that particular place to organize your party. You want to do anything, you go to that point, and you just know that, okay, fine, the estate is a pure residential estate. Tip number 5, don't forget that you are guaranteed a well-cultured environment. Tip number 6. Most times you are even permitted to pay instrumentally. And I think this part is very, very interesting. Most times you're permitted to pay instrumentally. There are developers who will tell you, oh, you can pay 3 times. The developers who will tell you can pay 4 times. For example, if the probably assume the property is going for 65 million, for example, if you are paying outrightly 65 million, but if you're paying, let's say, within a span of 3 months, you might probably go to 66 or 67 million because of your payment scheduling. You understand? And so most times you're even permitted to pay 3 times. So you know yourself, you've seen your budget. Okay, fine, this property, for example, is 65 million, and I know what I have a fund. Maybe I have 40 million or I have 50 million. I can pay that first. I say, okay, fine, in the next 2-3 months, I can complete my payments. Instead of going through the stress of trying to start building your house from the onset, and then having to go through all the stress that I've listed above. And I know that there are people who will desire all that I have said. And I know that you can actually reach us on 07063151558. Let me go through it over again. Tip number 1, security, good road network and security, and electricity rather, is taken care of. Tip number 2, you will never have anything to do with community guys anymore. Tip number 3, you will save yourself the stress of quarreling. Tip number 4, you will never be worried of the cost of materials. That's true. Tip number 5, you are guaranteed a well-cultured environment. Tip number 6, most times you are even permitted to pay instrumentally. To a very large extent, I'm doing this piece because of some persons who have actually called to say, Victor, do you think buying a property, already built houses, is more cheaper than building houses right now in Nigeria? I'm like, okay, fine, that's true to a very large extent. Buying houses, yes, it's a little bit cheaper, but there are factors that we need to consider. In my next piece, I'm going to be teaching you or exposing you to factors, also advantages of building your own house. But on this piece, I'm focused on advantages of buying already built houses in Nigeria. And at this point, talking about duplexes. My name is Victor Olise. Thank you so very much for your love. Thank you so very much for your support. For those persons who have been contacting us, thank you so very much. And if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button right about now to enjoy all the beautiful privileges that will be presenting to you as time goes on. Thank you, and God bless you. Compliment of the season to you and your loving family.